Hello everyone, it is December 2020. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you a few interesting incidents that happened around the world during November 2020. And maybe these incidents will get repeated. But before I get started, if you look at my background, what is shown is the stunningly beautiful but rugged landscape of the Utah Red Rock country. So imagine that in such a desolate place, one fine day, a metallic structure appears out of nowhere, quickly followed by similar metallic structures appearing at two or three other places around the world. Won't you be stunned? It will be a surreal experience, I'm sure, and it would seem like a beginning of a story from a Night Shyamalan movie, if I may say so. So, uh, before I come to the story today, meaty part of the story today, let me take you back in time to 1968 when Stanley Kubrick released uh, his movie 2001 A Space Odyssey, which was a magnificent movie of those times. And let me show you a snippet from that movie because that'll give you some context to the story I'm going to share with you today. So let's take a look at that snippet. So, in a particular scene, um, is depicted some apes sleeping peacefully in their habitat. One of the apes wakes up, suddenly spots something unusual, suddenly starts waking up the other apes. And suddenly, what is shown is a, a metallic structure known as a monolith appears in their habitat. And the apes are now really perturbed because they have never seen this in their life before. A couple of apes are trying to go close to the monolith and retreating as they get closer. They're trying to get its attention. But as you see, generally the apes are, it's caused a big ruckus among the apes. They're really disturbed by the sudden appearance of this monolith, the metallic structure. Uh, so I wanted to share this clip with you to set some context for today's story. Coming back to our story, one fine day in November 2020, a helicopter crew was flying through a remote desert canyon in Utah's Red Rock country. And suddenly, one of them, they were actually counting bighorn sheep. Suddenly, it is usually a routine flight for them and nothing unusual happens. But that particular day, one of them spotted a sparkly metal object looming up from the ground. And they were really stunned to take in that sight. So, as is natural, they went down closer to investigate and they found this beautiful, shiny monolith, a huge triangular metal piece about 10 to 12 feet in height, deeply entrenched in the red rock floor of the canyon. It was looking like what is depicted on the picture here, a beautiful, shiny metal object just standing there right in the middle of nowhere. So imagine the surprise of those guys. So very soon, this news was put out on the internet, and it created a lot of buzz. What is stunning is that the canyon where the monolith was placed is in a remote and inaccessible place, and it's very difficult to get there. You can only get there through helicopter, so you can't get there through a vehicle or on foot. It's virtually impossible. So it struck a curiosity among people to see when this monolith would have actually come onto that site. So obviously, some investigators decided to use Google Maps Earth View. I went back in time, and somebody came up to a conclusion that that monolith probably appeared there somewhere between August 2015 and October 2016. So just imagine, it has gone through undetected for 5 years. For all you know, that would have been the case for the next 20 years, 30 years, who knows, right? But anyway, through the magic of social media and internet, this became a big buzz now, and it really piqued everybody's curiosity. Apparently, not everyone shared the opinion that they should become the next great tourist uh, spot. So, a couple of guys, one is a base jumper called Andy Lewis and an adventure guide called Sylvan Christensen, decided to go there and remove this monolith. So they filmed themselves doing that on November 27th. Their argument was very simple. This place is very remote and inaccessible in the general sense of the word. But once that the word was out on the internet about this monolith sitting out there, they realized that it's going to attract thousands of tourists wanting to go and camp out there and probably take photographs of the monolith, wanting to take selfies, things like that. So they realized that that place doesn't have the infrastructure to support a rapid influx of people, and it would damage the pristine and sensitive ecosystem of the place. So they decided to go there and dismantle it. So that's what happened on November 27th. And on the day the Utah monolith was dismantled, that's November 27th, attention shifted over to Europe now, where reports emerged about another monolith having surfaced, this time in Romania, outside a city called Piatra Neamț, near an old archaeological site. Now, this monolith was very similar to the Utah monolith, about 10 to 12 feet tall, a vast triangular prism. It had very smooth surfaces, just like the Utah monolith, but it also had looping lines all around it with a welded seam near its base. Now, 4 days after it appeared, the Romanian monolith just disappeared without a trace. And to this day, its disappearance remains a mystery. But not to worry, on the same day, another monolith appeared, this time in California, in Atascadero, in a pine mountain off a hiking path. It was very similar to the Utah monolith, about 10 feet tall, with shiny surfaces all around, a large prism. It was made of stainless steel. There's only one difference between the Utah and the California monolith. The California monolith was not stuck into the ground like the Utah monolith. It was just resting on the surface, and to all accounts, it could be easily toppled by just a hard push at it. Uh, so apparently, it came out of nowhere there, and so again, it was causing another excitement about monoliths, appearing in different parts of the world. Yeah, and on December 3rd, it got that push. So a group of 5 men drove about 5 hours to that remote site and videotaped themselves destroying that monolith. But not to worry, just the next day on December 4th, another monolith appeared in its place. But this time, a group of local artisans in Atascadero claimed that it is their handiwork. So apparently there were some metal workers in Atascadero who decided to jump on the monolith bandwagon, but this time they decided to create a monolith of their own and go and place it at a remote place. So you see how this story is now slowly capturing the imagination of people. So just to complete the story, another monolith appeared on December 7th, this time in New Mexico. So that's four up to now. But let me come back to you, my audience. What do you think? Is some message being given up, through these monoliths? Now, if I take your thoughts back to the Stanley Kubrick movie, right, where the apes got really perturbed by a monolith appearing in their midst, is somebody trying to give us a message that we are still apes and we are still evolving and we got lots of ways to go? So maybe that's one message. If you think about the Utah monolith, apparently that appeared between 2015 and 2016. It was not discovered for 5 years. I can say that probably the other monoliths, the one in Romania, the one in California, the one in New Mexico, they're all copycats made by people who were trying to get their 15 seconds of fame probably on social media. But going back to the first monolith in Utah, do you think it could be the handiwork of some alien civilization? Has it piqued your curiosity and imagination about the art of the possible in the universe we live in? because as we know it now, there are thousands of galaxies. Each galaxy has got so many different star systems and planets and all that. So anything, we are just a speck in this huge cosmos, and anything is possible. So, if you, I would love to hear your comments. So uh, please feel free to share your opinions, thoughts, experiences, comments. Have you come across any such unusual looking objects in your lifetime? Did that pique your curiosity about where that could have come from? Was it an extraterrestrial object or whatever it could be? Please feel free to share it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button provided on the video. And once you subscribe, feel free to click on the bell icon so you can get notified of new content. I look forward to bring more such interesting topics in front of you in future videos. Let me close this video here, and I'll see you soon in another video. Until then, have a good one and goodbye.